Hello everybody, my name is PHC Nathan and welcome to a kind of unorthodox video on my channel. As you can tell from the title, I'm going to be reading the 12 Chaos Chapter 1, the original version that I edited way back when and actually released, self-published on Amazon, and took down eventually because of how bad it was. So this is going to be kind of a weird video because oh my gosh, my writing was horrendous. I am so ashamed. But yeah, so let's get to it. I need my my trusty glasses to read my computer. Yeah. Alright, let's go. Okay, the 12. Let's start off with the dedications. Dedicated to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for always being there for me and helping 100% of the way. Way to go, me. Way to represent Jesus. I wish you would have spelled something a little bit better though, but either way, yeah. Alright, dedicated to my 8th grade English teacher, Mrs. Stenmo, always. She's actually now married, she's Mrs. Madrid. That should have said Ms. Off to a great start. Dedicated to my wonderful support system, mom, dad, brothers, friends, and other relatives for being there and helping me write the book. None of those shits even helped me write this book. It was all me, baby. I'm gonna take every credit for it because I'm narcissistic as fuck. Okay, let's start with the actual book this time. Chapter 1, My Teacher is a Bird. This is a very good chapter. I have to say the chapter title is very enthralling and I kind of just want to dive right into it. Hello, my name is Nathan Rodriguez. Hello everybody, my name is Nathan Rodriguez and I'm currently in 8th grade at Ramona Middle School in Laverne, California. Wow, way to give away my location. Before I get to the actual point on what this stories, I want to explain the situation at hand. This story takes place in the year 2011. Wow, way to give a time and a date. And over the past years, the young eyes of the United States have seen far more devastation than any other generation. Untrue. Everybody talks about the end of the world, famine and diseases swarming over the land like locusts, and people killing themselves because they could not cope with the demands of everyday life. True. It's sickening to know we live in a world with so much turmoil and devastation to a point where they blame us, the kids. The kids of America, whoa! The adults of this world have grown weak, and they expect us to inherit the new world they've destroyed. It's a mutiny, but hey, they're treating us like kings now. Oh man, I am such an edgelord. Oh my gosh. Where my story takes place is not in the physical world, but in another dimension. It's a secret that was hidden from mankind for over 1,000 years. This is a story about the ancient order and their host bodies called the 12. My gosh, okay, I am screaming. Ah! I awoke. The air was awfully chill. It felt as if the world turned into a giant freezer and then was stuffed in a humid basement. What does that even mean? However, something was different. I didn't feel like this was a part of the world, but a hidden section unreachable by any normal human being. Wow, this main character is very perceptive, I'll tell you that. He is not supposed to be named after me, because I'm not that perceptive. I heard them. How many? 2? Their footsteps were loud and heavy on the carpet? Carpet? What? It felt like I was outside in the wilderness of a forest somewhere, but in my sight I could see bookshelves in different locations with a wide variety of biomes. As you can tell, I was very into Minecraft as a child. The thumping feet, they're closer. I try to move, constricted. I could see them, both male. Geez, this sounds like a rap almost. The one on the right looking Irish and had a dark cloak on. Oh my gosh, I did not know that Luciphilus was Irish. Spoiler alert. The other had black hair and a black beard. They stood over watching me with like space-like eyes. False. Alexander doesn't have space-like eyes. Go back to sleep, Nathaniel Rodriguez. My actual name is not Nathaniel. I don't know why I did that. I think I wanted my name to be Nathaniel, but like, I was a weird kid. It's not time yet, the Irish one said with a soft yet forceful voice. Wow, this sounds like 50 Shades of Grey. He puts his hand over my eyes and I fell asleep. Wake up! A voice boomed in my ear. I was so startled that I fell from the desk I was sitting at. I forgot that it was the last day of school and my teacher, Mrs. Frick. Actually, that is supposed to be Mrs. Fritz now. Mrs. Frick was an old teacher I had back in middle school in 8th grade. She was the worst, so bad that I actually created her into a bird demon. So, what does that tell you about her? Good. Now that you're awake and not daydreaming about what teens daydream about, how about we sign yearbooks now? Who talks like this? She said she said in with a sarcastic tone. Way to go, me. I got up from the floor and realized that my yearbook was full of signatures, but the funny thing about the names was that none of them were in the middle. Why did I put a little hyphen there? That doesn't make any sense. And it sort of looked like a star. I didn't think much of it, so I closed the book and went to sit with my friends. I actually had friends? Hey Nathan, come look at this, my friend Aaron called over. He was staring out the window when I walked up to him, and I could see from his face that he was concerned about what was happening outside. What is it? I asked, looking at him spacing out in front of the window. He was an African American. Wait. You're gonna take this time? Okay, so he calls over his friend to come look at something outside the window. So he goes into a rabbit hole talking about how his friend's African American. And more than that, he's not even talking about his friend's African American. He's talking about how he's African American and Mexican. Okay, his hair was afro-like, but it was cut short. He's very placid in class and never gets into trouble. Breaking stereotypes, friends! I wasn't cognizant about what I was looking outside, but whatever it was, the whole class was interested in it. A girl named Amanda. I actually know Amanda now, and I go to school with Amanda, and she's actually like my best friend, so this is kind of weird. She rudely shoved me out of the way, and my only outlet to see what was happening was blocked. Mrs. Frick was pacing back and forth, almost like she was nebulous on what to do. Nebulous! Nebulous! You know why I use that word nebulous? It's because when I was writing this, we were doing SAT vocabulary words in English class, and nebulous was one of the words. So, that's why. She reached in her desk and grabbed a necklace with some sort of eye in the shape of a diamond pendant. She squeezed it in her hand and the room vibrated in its foundation. The kids moved away from the window and I saw what was happening. The two men from my daydream, they were waiting outside. The one who told me to fall back asleep, the Irish-looking one, just in case you forgot, like a page ago, held a giant scythe with a red ruby in it. Obviously, I really like scythes. The other held a sword made of what seemed to be black minerals. Again, I was really into Minecraft and I was doing this weapon that you get. It's called the Black Matter Sword, Dark Matter Sword, I can't remember. I was playing Tekken at the time with my mates and obviously. Okay. I felt a gust of wind behind me and the kids began to scream. I turned and saw Mrs. Frick with large bird wings and a diamond-shaped eye. Why did I release this for my friends to see? Get out of the way, Nathaniel, she yelled in her voice demonic and full of anger. Wait, she yelled, her voice? There's supposed to be a comma. Okay. She swiped me away with just wind, not even touching anything or me. That sentence does not make sense. The door flew open and she catapulted out into the outside. Out into the outside. I don't know what overcame me, but I knew it wasn't me who stepped outside the door and onto a war zone between my bird teacher and the two men in my dream. Mrs. Frick was a good distance away from the two men. I actually don't know if Mrs. Frick was married. I think it was Ms. Frick. I don't know. We'll see. Kids from the other classroom started to pile out of their classrooms. Jesus Christ, why is that sentence so bad? And they ran towards the exit. Luciphilus, Achilles. Originally, Alexander's name was Achilles. The more you know. Luciphilus, Achilles, why are you here? Mrs. Frick stated. A blue spear appeared in her hand. Won't you look at this, Achilles? One of Chaos's spawns right where the new host bodies are supposed to be. Tell me, Kaylee Daemon, don't you know that prophecy has been fulfilled? The host shall be reawakened and take down your so-called leader. Luciphilus's voice is totally different in the new iteration of the 12. Like, this is crazy. They all just sound like one character, to be honest. I noticed he called Mrs. Frick Kaylee Daemon. I knew that Kaylee was Latin for the word sky, and Daemon was Latin for the word demon. So in translation, he called Mrs. Frick a sky demon. So he was technically right when he called her that. Why does this kid know, like, so much stuff? Like, I don't know Latin. What? I just searched up Latin. Oh man, this sounds cool. But I gotta give my reader an explanation on what it means. So I'll just have my character know everything about Latin, apparently. Okay, that makes sense. Mrs. Frick growled and got 2 twin swords. Wait, didn't she just have a spear like a couple sentences ago? Why does she have twin swords now? That doesn't make sense. What's going on? What is you doing, Nathan? What is you doing, Nathan? Ah! Okay. Lucifilus raised his scythe and sent a rotating orb towards Mrs. Frick. I couldn't place a name for the rotating orb, but to me it was as bright as a star, so that's what I'm going to call it. By the way, call hit. Nice. Again, for a 50-something-year-old teacher, Mrs. Frick moves fast with the exception that she has wings. True. She dodged the star that was aimed towards her, hacks, dodges, and charged with her twin swords ready to slash away at Lucifilus and Achilles. My gosh, how much more do I have to take from this? I didn't know who... So my camera just shut off, so I think that's the cue to just stop reading this horrible story that I've written like so many years ago. I hope you guys liked it. It's something that is going on my channel. I don't know. It's because like I have nothing else to upload because I don't have my hacking computer, so I decided to just do this. So yeah, if you guys want me to continue reading it, I mean, leave a comment, but I'd understand if you don't. It was really bad. But I'll see you guys next time. Bye!